International Men's Day. Hi everyone, good evening, welcome to Mike at Night. Thank you very much for joining us. Those of you who are online with us, it is always a pleasure, I assure you, to have you on our program. We look forward to seeing you every single week. Alright, we are here on the Thursdays at 8 o'clock EST time, and during this time we welcome you to be part of our program and our discussion. Two things are going to take place today. We are going to discuss in the first 10 to 15 minutes about a conference discussion, workshop type program that is coming up very soon. You'd have seen it on the program as we started it. So let me just bring it back for you. This is coming up in Scarborough. So it is live. It is face to face. It's not online, unfortunately. So I saw that some people registered for it, although they are out of the country. I just wanted to know it is free but live. Dr. Joe K. Wayne, a professor in Ontario Institute for Studies in Education, University of Toronto, Canada. She did some research on black men and boys, and so she wants to talk about the plight of these black men and boys that she has uncovered in her research concerning black men and boys. And that is going to be very instructive for us, because I want you to pay particular attention. We are in crisis with our men and boys. The people who have done the research, we need to always listen to them. One of the problems that we do, we keep looking to politicians, we keep looking to preachers, we keep looking to a number of different areas, when the people who have done the research can actually tell us what is happening, and then we take it from there. So I want us to be able to pay attention. This program is going to be on Tuesday, the 3rd of November 2024. It's going to run from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Scarborough Library in Tobago. It is live, face to face. Those who are not going to be there will miss it. And we're hoping to get some frank discussions coming out of it. So the first part of this session, we are going to speak with that. I am also speaking in that event, and I'll do some of the challenges that we have with men and boys on the island, while Dr. Wayne will bring it from a number of different perspectives and different places. Our moderator is Dr. Janet Stanley Macano. She's an educator, and of course she's going to be the moderator of the day. Alright, so everybody is invited. Churches, youth group, teachers, counselors, bandits, everybody. We're inviting you to come out. Alright, so let's go straight and let's not waste time as we welcome Dr. John K. How do you pronounce your name, please? I don't want to mutilate your name, please. Joki?
It's Joki 1.
Joki 1. Oh, all right. 1. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let me make sure that the people are hearing. I want to make sure that they are getting you clearly also from outside of there. Are you all hearing Dr. 1? If you are, just
hearing
you are hearing me clearly.
Thank you.
Nice. And let me see if the audience hear me. If you are hearing, just give me some hearts. Put up some hearts, people. Good evening, Josanne, St. Lucia. Thank you very much for joining us. Kenneth Hodge, Trinidad. Thank you. Also, Eldwin Tulsi, Kevin Frederick, Candice Alexander, Tobago. Wonderful. Nice having all of you all on here this evening. If you are hearing, just put up some hearts. Let me see you, so that we know that you are hearing our goodly doctor on board. Okay. Welcome to the program, Dr. Wan. It is such a pleasure. You are in Canada at the moment, am I not right?
Yes, I'm in Canada at the University of Toronto.
Right. And you will be...
That's where I've been teaching for... Go ahead.
Yes. No, you go ahead, please.
No, I'm saying I have been teaching at this university for a number of years.
Right. Okay, nicely. So, and you'll be in Tobago for this event live. Are you when are you coming in?
I am landing in Tobago on the 30th of November.
30th of
And I'm
November.
looking forward to visiting Tobago. I've never been there, so it's exciting for me to come and visit and touch a piece of land that I haven't been before. And meet my
Ah,
friends as well.
yes. Crab and dumpling and roti. You'll get that. All right. So
Thank you.
tell us now. This whole research on the plight of men and boys. What inspired you to go this route?
Thank you, Michael, for that question. It's very interesting the way the whole story began. I was in Kenya doing some research that was not related at all to the plight of black boys and black men. Again, when I talk about black men in Kenya, in Jamaica or the islands, the majority of people are black. And I was there at the university where I was, lecturing and doing some work. And I noticed that the majority of the students in those classes were girls. And I kept asking, where are our young men?
Hmm.
Interestingly, every time I would take public transport, I don't know whether in Tobago you have those mini buses.
Yes.
You have, yeah. So I'll always find young men being the ones that are looking for clients, for passengers for these mini buses. And so I started connecting threads. And or you go to town, they are the ones that are just, walking aimlessly in the city. And I said, what is this? This doesn't make sense to me. Where are our black? So exactly, I had to call the research. Where are our black men and our black boys? Where are they?
Hmm.
And that's how I started the research. Interestingly, how I connected, the dots between the island, Jamaica, and Canada. Again, I paid attention to the number of students, or to the diversity of students at the University of Toronto. And again, the majority of the students were women. I go to Jamaica, I'm chatting with some colleagues in the Marco College, University College. Again, the majority of the students were girls. Then I had to sit still and reflect. And all of a sudden, I remembered for almost 30 years, the whole world was focusing on the girl child. And I said, in that process, we lost a very big chunk of our black boys in our education.
Hmm. Wow.
That's what motivated me to doing that research. Yeah.
Right. And that stood out for you.
Yes, it stood out for me. Yes, we are focused on the girl child. What about our boys?
Hmm.
I don't know whether it's the same thing in Tobago.
Is the educational system in these countries fashioned to take into consideration the learning styles of boys and men? Did your research take that into consideration?
Of course, I paid attention to how we educate our black boys and men, and initially there was a lot of emphasis, especially before independence, or even soon after independence in various nations, that we were sort of feminizing our girls. We were making them domestic workers, or we were educating them to be good housewives and so on and so forth. And as a result, they were not advancing at all in the educational system. And that's why all of a sudden the UN, the World Bank said we need to focus on the girl child because of what is happening to them. Without putting together that you can't separate the girls from the boys in a classroom, when you're planning for them, you need to plan for both, all the genders, not just on the girls. And that's what I found, as we indicated very clearly, the problem with our education today. We need to find ways of motivating our young men. And when you are out there, we need to find ways of engaging our men. We need to find ways of engaging them, and we need to emphasize on making them feel wanted and very important. Again, whoever is listening, I'm not saying that women, girls don't have problems, but we seriously need to pay attention to how we become inclusive and cut the pie in half if needs be.
Right. Yes. So, International Men's Day is celebrated on November 19th. And it's instructive that you mentioned the United Nations and all of these people who give emphasis on the girls. In fact, United Nations, according to their own website, said that it was important for International Women's Day, March 8th, which coincidentally is my wife's birthday and our anniversary. But they said on their website that the reason for this is to give equality to the women. And while we have no issue with that, the issue that I always bring to the fore whenever I am on a forum like this is this. The United Nations has over 218 internationally celebrated days, which includes migration of bees and birds. So we have all the days for all of those things. Out of the 218 or so days, about 7 of them are to girls and women, including Day Against Domestic Violence Against Women. So that also is no problem. But it is very instructive to note that out of all the days, not one was given to men, not one was given to boys, out of 218 days. And to this day, International Men's Day, which is November 19th, is celebrated as World Toilet Day without recognition to man.
Yeah.
Right? So there is a disregard for men and boys. But here's what be happening. Even when we ignore that, our boys that we love so much, growing up to be men, and if we have a disenfranchised society, they are going to be growing up into a society where we love them as boys and we hate them as men. You see? Or disregard their input as men. So what can we do, Doc?
I'll tell you, again, this is based on my research. The problem of black boys and our men began long time ago. Unfortunately, this is something that it's not shocking. It hasn't been it hasn't been publicized openly. But since enslavement, since colonization, the system, whether it's in Kenya, whether it's where, the system has constantly fought to destroy black men. Because with black men, if you destroy the black men, what happens is that there is a superiority complex, and that's exactly what they want, and cannot talk about it. Because the question of the power dynamic, and unless we pay attention to what they did to our men during enslavement, what they did to our men during colonization, selectively, picking a few men here and here to be sent to school. And I found in Jamaica, when I was doing the research, some of the few families that had progressed were light-skinned compared to the dark-skinned families. And again, it was a way of segregating and classifying who could get an education. The same thing in Kenya. The young people who were sent out to schools were selectively picked, and those were the ones who are more who could easily be manipulated and who could easily give in to the demands of the colonizer. So it's a history that needs to be told in schools, because we need to go to the root cause of why our black men are so discriminated. Sorry to say, the black men are a very endangered species. That's what I have found in my research. And we need to pay attention to that.
Trinidad and Tobago has a very high suicide rate, with 90-something% of the suicides being for men. The vagrancy on the streets, it is in the 90-something% of the people who are vagrants on the streets are men. So we do have a serious issue. So really, we're looking forward to hearing you when you come on the 3rd. It is on the screen, people. It's on the 3rd of December. It's a Tuesday from 3 o'clock to 5 p.m. All you need to do is to register, and it is a free registration, free attendance. However, it is face-to-face in Tobago. You can go to my website, let's start again, www.michaelatstewart.com, and when you go there, you go and click upcoming event. When you go to upcoming event, the flyer is going to come up. You will see a add to cart. Many people get scared when they see add to cart because they think they have to pay. You must press the add to cart. It is going to read 0.00, which means you pay nothing. It is to register your name, address, and your contact, so that we'll know that you are going to be coming out to the event. Only for those who will be on the island. So take note. So let me go that again. www.michaelatstewart.com is the website. You go there and you press upcoming events. There is a flyer there, that the same flyer you're seeing right now on your screen. At the bottom of it is the words add to cart. You click on that. Numbers of 000 will come up. Do not get scared. You do not have to put in any credit card information nor debit card information. It is just taking you to where you are going to pay, because some of our programs are paid. So we have it all going to add to cart, but those that are free will say 000. And you fill it out, and then you are registered. You will get an automatic reply acknowledging your registration. Okay, so we hope that you are able to make it. Sharon says, absolutely,
Hello?
doctor, in my opinion, that's not going to change anything. Yes, doc. Yes, doc, I'm hearing you. Oh, I think we'll be lost now. Okay, people, so that program is coming up. Both myself and Dr. Wan, she's coming back again. Both myself and Dr. Wan will be speaking at that, and our moderator is Dr. Makano, and she will be also there. Yes, Doc, are you back on? Dr. Wan, are you there? I don't think she's hearing. Okay. Alright, my people. So that's it. I hope that you can go even now to register while we are on the air. Now we go to the question of what hurts men in relationship. Right. Business now start. Alright, let me just see if we could just click. Yeah, Dr. Wan, you're back. Are you hearing? No, clearly she's not hearing. So, yes, what hurts men? No, let me tell you all people. Women some women get the advice from women and come up with some erroneous. Yes, Sharon, oh please, my yeah, you go ahead, oh please. Just check in and see what society have put men. 2 days it's rated like this: children first, followed by women, animals, then men. Alright, says Lyndon. Here is what happened. Women, for some reason, some women say men are intimidated by their success. I have never heard a man say that yet in his life. So where did this come from? The women, who think that this is going to let them sound as though they are prized possession, and men are scared because of all of their success. Men are happy for this success. Men are happy for the ease in the cost that you're going to help pay for the house. Men are happy for all of those things that are going to come along with it, because we drive your car. You pay for the car and we drive it. So don't think that we are intimidated at all. That is a woman's thing. Women advise other women as to how men feel and what men think and how to deal with men. And they have no clue whatsoever. But tonight we're going to settle that score. We're going to let you know. But half of you all would not listen anyway, because you all have a narrative in your minds that you don't want to give up, because it serves your own intent. And while it serves your own intent, it estranges men from you. It causes men to drift and disconnect from women. Yeah? So, let us now deal with some of these things. It is not my original. I read it and I agree with much of it, so I will just expand and expound on it. So you all get ready now. For men, what hurts a man? Alright. It hurts a man, number one, when his woman speaks to other people with more respect and warmth than she speaks to him. Now I hear in a lot of the women saying, what if he does rough up, and what if he does talk to you so? Are you not going to look at that side? Yes, I know that you're going to say that. We are saying what hurts a man is the way a woman speaks to him compared to how she speaks with other people. That bothers a man. You see? So let me say, tonight we have an open line and we're encouraging you all to call in. The number is 868 for those who call in outside of Trinidad and Tobago. 480-0080. If you're brave enough to discuss the matter, rock and come in. 868-480-0080. Right. Lawrence Flamen said, disrespect, disregard, no appreciation, no love extended. Right. Josan said, them stones coming rapid. I here to listen and learn. Yeah. Tonight, because it is International Men's Day, we're taking it for the month. We're not, you see how some people does, yes, and I ain't coming down from there at all. This is our time. Let me tell you how sometimes men get scared to talk about men's issues. I'm listening to a radio program, a talk show, an interview taking place. A man is on the radio being interviewed by a woman, the host of the program. They're talking about some things regarding gender and relationships, etc. The man goes down the road to slam men about the way how men are and how they treat women and the way how men think. He's going the traditional way of, when you're talking about men, slam men. When you talk about women, rate women. Talk about all their goodness. Talk about how nice they are. and talk about how they suffer the hands of men. But when it comes to talk about men, nothing about his success, nothing about his aptitude. It's all about what he does wrong. So he's going that traditional way because he's being interviewed by a woman. But the woman interrupted him and said to him, you know, we have this stereotyping that when we're talking about men, we brandish and brand all men the same. And she said, from my experience, most men are not like that. It is a few men. Now, this is the woman who is the host of the program, her guest, who is a male, slamming men. And she is telling him that his perspective is not wholesome and is not balanced. And then he pulls back. And she starts to talk about some of the good things about men and some of the characteristics that she admires in men. It is only then the guest felt comfortable now talking good about men. So even men feel as though they have to slam men. No, sir. And when we get on programs like these and we have women on the program, sometimes the women don't like us to talk about the men and give them any good kudos. When we get here, slam men. And when we get there, rate women. I is not of that. You hear me? I is not of that. You all know whenever I'm talk, I just talk and balance with women. Whenever there is issues of domestic violence that comes on the thing, I would get on social media and I will condemn it. You understand? But I reserve the right to also take note of the man. And one of the things that men say is that he has a problem when his woman speaks with respect and warmth with other people, and she speaks to him in low tones, harshness, criticism, blaming, as though she's always angry and vexed. Alright? So, we need to stop that. We need to stop that. The second thing that the person said, we're not going to finish all, because it is about 14 stuff, and we're not going to finish all. But we're going to go where we can, and we'll try to continue next week. Number 2, as I said, you could call in the telephone number. Let me put the telephone number on the screen, because some of all are little slow. Yeah, I will try and put up the telephone number. All right, there it is. Telephone number and email. Don't use. Let me. All right, that one. All right. So we're talking about men. You can call in. You can call the telephone number 480-0080 and let's talk about it. Women could call too, if all are prepared to handle me tonight. Because they see me here, drinking some hot tea. It's 2. So we talk about she speak with respect to other people, but disrespectful to him. 2, it hurts a man when his woman treats him well only when around visitors. So you have one who talks to people nice and talk to him disrespectful, and 2, where she plays the platform that she's this nice, cordial, accommodating woman, but behind the doors she has anger issues, she has childhood traumas. So when the man complains about his woman, people say, no, that's not the lady I know. Not understanding that this person here is a horse of a different color. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder if the men out there could understand me. I wonder if all you with me out there. Men am I lying? Nola said we have to train fathers so they can train their sons to be men. I agree with you, Nola, 100%. And that training is missing for a number of reasons. For what this doctor, who we're going to listen to just now, and those of you in Trinidad should take a flight and come up and for that event. Some of the fathers, not all, are not with their children because the mothers block them. And I shared with you all on a radio program this week, on a television program for International Men's Day, when I gave the story of a young girl, of a lady who said the father and mother separated. When she was graduating, she asked for the father to be at the graduation. The mother said, if your father is coming, I am not coming. So she had to make a choice as a young girl between her mother and her father. When she was getting married, she asked her father to walk her down the aisle. The mother says, never happen. Anytime he comes, you will take him and I will be absent out of your thing. On the second occasion, she had to leave out her father. And then she's big married with her children. She cannot have a relationship with the father because she already grew up disconnected from him, but did not know how to tell him, I love you. And the father died. And in his will, he left everything for her. And she cried saying, my father never knew how much I loved him, and that hurts me. And my mother is on my mind for that. Yes. Just how women could slam men, men could slam the same way. But you see, it is not in us, Gilbert, that we should slam the women, nor would I encourage it. Because we already say it is reprehensible what the women are doing. I would not suggest that the men go the same wrong route and treat back women so. The slamming we don't want, but we do know that we want to be affirmative and speak out. Michelle, hey Miguel. Michelle say, I hear women saying all men are dogs and bad. I like to boast that it's not my experience. Thank you, Michelle. Here you go, because you have yourself a very good man. Mike, most men seem to need too much attention from women. Women are the ones who ask him for the attention. The way they dress is because they are trying to call attention. The way how they come out and try to bring everything. When you start a conversation on men, the women bring it back to themselves. Is attention they're seeking? So it's not that men seeking their attention. And so that's another fallacy I want to debunk on this program. You understand me? I hear women saying, I was in university at the time when there some women came there to lecture and talking about these almanacs and posters, calendars of the year that have all of these women in these sexy pose on the cover page of these calendars is male advertisers using women to be able to promote their business. And I asked the lady, any of those ladies who you see cock up there in that fancy lingerie, you look at their face, any of them look upset to you? Any of them look vexed? Why is it we always feel that every time a woman does something of her own volition, a man has to take blame for it if it is wrong? Hold women accountable too. If a woman has 9 children, 8 of them from different men, it's because the father is not taking care of him. We blame the men. But if a man has 9 children for 9 different women, he is a deadbeat dad. We blame him. No, sir. Not tonight. You understand me? Not tonight. All you hear me? And I tell all you could call, but I know that all you wouldn't want to call. All of those brave women could call me tonight. You think Sharon want to say something? Yes, Kevin, Sharon want to say something, but Sharon wouldn't come out and say it here. Yeah? You see? It takes a real man to train a son to become a man. Alright. Thank you, Hodge. Alright. So some of you haven't been able to read all of your things. But all the rock and come in. All the rock and come in now. Tonight is the night when we let it out all, each and every all, according to my Grenadian friend. Alright, next. It hurts a man. It hurts a man. Well, we said when he talks to him nice when people are around and talk to him harsh when they're not around. Alright, let me see. Alright, now this is a live broadcast, so I hope this caller knows that they're live. Good evening.
Yes, I do.
Alright, welcome.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Time enough to switch it around.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's time we switch it because, like I would tell anybody, there's good and bad in both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of times because of status.
Yes.
And probably from how some of us were brought up.
Yes.
Leave, like they say, you hush the girl and you buff the guys, the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is hard for some men to express themselves. Two, it is also hard to understand why a man does a thing sometimes. I will agree with you on every point you make, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are also some men who are very vindictive out there.
So men?
Yes, very vindictive.
Alright.
Let's throw that aside now.
Mm-hmm.
We say women, men look and women look. I don't think there's anything else left for men to look for in women. And why I say that, if we even look at our dress code, we put everything out there. I don't think we leave anything to the imagination anymore. It have men who work and women who work, yes.
Even women are ashamed of the way how women dress. But they're afraid they are the ones who are intimidated to talk to those women.
Yeah, but also, there are the men who walk with their woman by themselves looking just like that.
You mean just like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they don't want another man to look when your woman walking by your side with everything exposed.
You know, I always watch that when a man is walking next to a woman and she is scantily dressed. Some of them I did are just a cursory, non-formal survey. By asking, is this your wife? Most times that is not his wife, you know. You understand? Because when it comes to choosing a woman to be your wife, there's a certain amount of dignity you want. But you will choose anything for a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But for a wife, this is the person that you want to be able to show off. And most men will not have a wife dressing like that, walking down the street for every Tom, Dick and Harry.
And then there are the guys now. There are the guys who walk with all their pants down below the boxers out and the woman by the side, stone pussy dress.
Reprehensible. And we used to say that, and we used to talk to the men about that. And the women decide, let me take it over. Alright. Thank you.
Before I go,
yes.
I'm just saying there are things that we have to realize. Let us don't just blame men. It's have good men out there. Let us don't just blame men. Some of us are the fault because we accept it, we acknowledge it. And some of the things that we expect some men to do, we are the woman who is doing it. So let us give the men a chance and wish them, happy International Men's Day. Let us treat them good. Let us give them a thumbs up tonight.
Right. Okay.
They are the good ones.
Thank you very much. Right. And let me just point out, Madam Nola. Nola Flament. Let me come into you there now. I say I nobody missing it tonight. You said 1 and 2 are not only about women, but men also behave the same. That is something that I want to be able to point out here. As soon as you start to talk about some of the issues regarding women, they are quick to point out men too, men also. But when you're talking about women, and you're talking about women are great partners and women are very helpful and so on, you don't ever hear men too. You don't ever hear that's the same thing about men too. You always leave it on the woman. But when it comes to the men now and something is said about it, and you point out something that is wrong with the woman, you talk about men too. This is not about women tonight. And this is what the same thing that we said. whenever you start talking about men, women try to bring the conversation onto their platform. Not tonight. Find the next place for that. Not tonight. We're leaving it on men. I will make sure it stays on men tonight. Because, let me tell you, if I say, my car is fast, boy, what you come in and tell me, a Toyota fast too, a Mazda fast too, a Datsun fast. I'm not talking about Datsun and all of them things. I'm talking about my car fast. And he said, that is what you should say. Serious? How fast is it? But don't tell me about the other cars. That is wasting my time. So when I talking about men, don't tell me about women too. Alright? Although don't get me down the road. Alright. So, let me see what else. But Nola knows that I love her. Anyway, we're going to number 3 now. Let's go to number 3. And let me thank that caller, Marcia, for coming on board there. And let me tell anybody who want to call in. Call me. Call me now. 868-480-0080. And let me challenge Madam Sharon, who have all the things to say on the line. Call me. Call me. Let me deal with you. And let me put you out to rinse. Call me, Sharon. Never mind, me and Sharon is good friend. But alright. Number 3. It hurts men when his woman makes him feel less important to the children. You understand me? When the woman has to bad talk him with his own children. Yes? It is called parental alienation. Is your father. Your father don't mind you. What that has to do with the children? Why do you think you need to tell the children that? Your father don't love you. If he did love you, he would have seen him today for your birthday. When you know you have hit the man in court, when you know that you have been preventing the child from even calling him on the telephone, you understand me? No. There are times that a man wants to be in his child's life. There is a particular case, true story, where the man asked for custody of his own children. The woman contested it. The magistrate told the man, do you think, sir, I will remove the children from their mother and give it to you as the father when she's the more appropriate person to be able to take it? The man was complaining about the man that his wife, his former wife, was in a relationship with, and his concerns about the safety of his child in the company of the child's mother and this new man. He brought evidence and the magistrate says, no, there is no way I'm going to give the child to you because this is the child's mother. So the woman had the custody. The child was killed by the gentleman, by the family. Right? Because we have this thing that men can't be good fathers. No, he wanted to be part of his child's life. He wasn't allowed to be part of it. So it's not because it is not every man that is a scoundrel, you know. There are some men who really want to be part of the children. I meet them every day. I meet them in my office. I meet men crying. I meet men who come and sit down with their children and say that I want to be part of the life, but the one man would not allow me. All they think it easy. If I tell all some stories, but because I don't want to say stories and people know that this is their story, I can't say it. According to research, Michelle says, by the American Psychological Association 2013, gender differences in implicit self-esteem, it was found that men subconsciously still worse about themselves when their partner succeeded than when she failed. Right. It is important to specify the target population, the research and the results. It will be good to conduct such studies in Trinidad and Tobago, which will help us to better understand these pertinent issues that affect men and how they feel. Alright, thank you very much, Michelle. Alright. Erna Lynch, she said, I stand against any woman speaking bad about fathers to their children. Let the children form a bond with their children. Let the fathers form a bond with their children. Don't give them mixed up with the issues of the relationship. Of course. Yes. I agree with that. There was one time a young lady was a mother came to me and said that she having some little challenges with the daughter, young daughter, and so I'm chatting with the daughter and the mother, and I wanted to find out from the child what is it that is causing her to be disruptive in school, not be hold the good grades that she used to have, and so on. And the mother was giving me the list of things that the father, he abandoned her, the father don't want to be around her, and she alone having to provide everything for the child, and she gives the usual victimhood and cry down kind of thing, and everything is about the father and nothing about herself. Which let me segue out of here. When the children doing bad, many times the mother says, the father not taking his role, he not paying for the rent, he not doing this, he not helping me, and so on. Yeah? Is I alone. Yeah? He not doing it, and so on. But, so he gets the blame for why the child is doing bad. Here's what, when the child is successful in athletic, and the child gets a scholarship, and the child goes away, here's the same mother who will turn around and say, the father had nothing to do with this, it's me alone. I am the one who did all of this. So she takes all the praise. But when it comes to the child doing bad, she gives the man all the blame. You understand? Yeah, mix up. Anyway, back to the story. Or letting God forget where I was. I ain't forgetting where I was tonight. So, she gave the guy all the blame concerning the child. I asked the child, what would you like? The child says, I would like to go and live with my daddy. The mother was so angry. The mother says, I do all of this for you and you going for that and to want to live with that ungrateful man? You are an ungrateful girl. And she started to berate the girl right there in the office for wanting to live with the father. She thought all the things she was lavishing on the child would purchase the love of the child and incur the hate of the husband or her father. No, sir. It doesn't happen so with children. And she was so upset. And she said, you see me? I will disown you. So you see the kind of abuse that the child was going through? You all understand me? I tell you. Anyway. Some women most allow men to be men by allowing them to play their God-given role. They make the men weak. Thank you, Myrtle. Josiane. Some women just miserable right now. There are a number of children leaving with their father because mom up and left and is still father to blame. That's ridiculous. Thank you very much. That is right. Alright, so people, all ain't calling in at all. Men all could call in too, you know. Let me hear all that tonight. But make sure you come proper, you know. Because you see this hot tea I have here? Right. So, don't bad talk the man to the children. Don't bring the children into adult discussion. Don't ask them to adjudicate between you and your man. Don't come and ask and so and ask your child to be able to answer to something. Won't you hear when your father said so? No, this is not for children. Keep them out of it. Children must enjoy their childhood and not having to be adjudicating and making the issues to things. Alright, so this call that is coming in, I just want you to know we are live on social media. If this is a private call, well, you're on the wrong call, but good evening.
No prank call here, man. No prank call here, man. I'm live and direct. Good program.
Thank you.
Listen, I just want to leave it to say.
Yes.
society is responsible for shaping this narrative about how men are. Eh?
Uh-huh.
Notice this. When it's Mother's Day, they're shopping by kids and all these fancy things.
Talk to me.
When it's Father's Day, if it's not tools, there's no recognition. Right? We just celebrated a couple months ago International Women's Day. I started watching the office where the men give the women chocolates.
Yes.
And all kind of, we now celebrate International Day. I see man get more form of pampering.
Yeah.
Society changes. I see in some countries, and I feel we have it here today, in some countries.
Yeah.
The rights belong children first, women second.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel men third, no. Animals third.
Damn. Puppy.
Men way down where rights is concerned. And because of that, and you growing up in a society where men are like this, I didn't hear you?
Yeah, I say puppy, a dog that does come to.
Yes, men are last, and because I believe that the way they train our mind,
Mm-hmm.
the way they program the mind to believe that men are, how to put it, boy? Because, I don't know if it's because of our strength, we're supposed to be less than.
Yes.
Right? So you go before the court, you are less than.
Yes.
You go before an argument, you are less than. Then we get so programmed into this that when we go with your friends and the partner having a problem with the woman, you will give him the little thing too. But when the lady come around, you take the woman's side.
Mm-hmm.
When the ladies together, the men doing that, no?
No, sir.
They're not doing that. Anyway, I just wanted to give me a little 2 cents. They're a good program. I enjoyed it. I looked on.
Thank you, but before you go, you there? Man gone, man. Okay, nice, thanks. Sharon says she going and drink hot ginger tea because I getting she vexed. If you're vexed and you're brave, so meet me at the OK Corral. Call me now. Call me and tell me what you're vexed about. Let me see if you're brave so to do that, Sharon. You, Sharon. Timothy say he feel the call, but the wife next to him. Oh gosh, all are good, yes. Alright. The thing I wanted to say, to show how we so much that things are skewed against men. I was telling a group of people the other day, if a woman is in her yard and she is naked in her own yard and a man is in his yard and looks across and sees her naked, she can call the police and make a report on him and label him as a peeping Tom. He will be arrested because she is naked in her yard and he sees her from his yard. You understand me? If, however, he is in his yard and he is naked, she is in her yard and she sees him naked, she can also still call the police and have him arrested and label him as indecent exposure. Anywhere you take it, his goose cook. Let me take the next call. Who's next? All you call me. 4800080. The number is on top of there. 868-480-0080. Yeah. I ain't care who vexed with me tonight. I don't care who call me biased. I don't care who call me leaning towards one side. Yeah. Sharon, you only am out, you know. You just know how to blow wind and those fall no those shed no rain. Nola say Father's Day is ranked third to last on the holiday list. Mothers second on the list. Let's bump up fathers. Yes, thank you very much, Nola. Alright. So, we International Men's Day, I was in an event. Let me say hats off to the Division of Tourism in the Tobago House of Assembly. They had a session for the men, and the men came out in their numbers. And I want to really thank the Division of Tourism for making that a priority on the day. I want to thank the Assistant Secretary Niall George, who was there. I suspect that the Secretary Tasha Boris would have been also part of it, although she wasn't there. And she might not have been there because she felt as a woman she would be there, or she might have been another thing. But at least Niall George was there. And the administrator was there, Mr. Julian Ski. He was nice. And in that session, the gentleman next to me was, all of us sit down writing jocularly the things that we get for birthdays and things that they're giving us for anniversaries. Underwear, tie, kerchief, those kind of things. Or they give us a tool so that we could be able to go and do more work. You understand? Nothing personal. Yeah? They say I buy him a drill. So that he do what? He enjoy himself with the drill. Yeah? But to do things that the man wants. Hey. Alright. Yeah. Let me also clear the air. My wife does give me proper gift. My wife knows how to give me gift. That not them kind of things that all are talking about there. She knows what I want, and she knows the kind. I like gadgets, and one thing she has given me is gadgets. All right, this caller, I hope you know you are live on air.
Yes. What is your opinion of the silent notion that the woman rules the house, even though publicly we have a front that the man is the head of the house? So oftentimes you hear persons joking, like on this live here today, my wife is next to me, so I won't call. Why is that a notion that seems to be accepted, that men are not free to act if their wife is present?
Right. There might be a number of reasons. One is the pushback that the man may get from the wife. Thank you very much, caller. Appreciate that. The pushback that the man may get from the wife, and a lot of you see, let me tell you, if a woman comes from a home where she sees her mother fighting and struggling and has to be the one in charge of the home, she's likely to have a daughter who will come up with that same mentality and get into a relationship with a man and doesn't recognize that your mother was single, but she carries this and transplants that personality into a marriage. So the man, in the attempt for peace, a man keeps silence to survive sometimes his warring wife. Sometimes. So, and many times, and I will tell you this in all seriousness. I had a mother brought in a young man. He's about 16, 17 years old. She says that he doesn't talk, and it bothers me because he's quiet. Sometimes he gives you a one answer, and he's very reserved. I said, all right. She said, I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to mentor him. I'm very happy to do that, and so on. I gave him a form to fill out so that I will take his statistics, the information. When I stretched it out to hand it to this 17-year-old boy, her hand came from nowhere, took it from me, and she went aside and started filling it out. The boy never had a chance to touch the form, although he was stretching out to take it from me. I said, all right, well, while she's filling it out, let me have a conversation with the boy. I said, son, what would you like to do when you grow up? When he opened his mouth and they did this, his mouth just opened to answer me. She answered from this side. He said he want to be a fireman. But I feel he have enough brains that he should be able to go and do some other job, some other profession that she was in. And she answered for him. I now understood why this boy doesn't talk. The mother is too overpowering. She's helicopter parenting. She's hovering over him. So he does not have a chance. But she wants him to talk. So I took him inside. I said, Miss, could you stay out here and I'll take him into the office and me and he will have a chat. And we had a chat inside of there. We cut a mango and we start to eat mango and talk and so on. And the boy is as fluent as ever. Talking and so on. And this is what he told me. He said, Mr. Stewart, I love my mother. But my mother doesn't give me space to think for myself and to make decisions for myself. Down to me clothes and all, she tells me what to do. So he is shut down because of his mother. When we came back out of the office, she's there talking again, and he said nothing all time. You understand me? Why do you think whenever there's a men's forum and men talking, men talk like that when men get together? Just bring into that room a few women, and all of a sudden you're asking men questions that nobody wants to answer. Why? They know the woman is going to say something and they will have something to say. Like my lady Sharon on this one here. Always have something to say. Counter to what the man has to say. Instead of women, some of these women sit down and listen and say, I want to really feel him. I want to really understand him. No, they're not caring about that. They ought to tell us how we should think. They ought to tell us how we should respond. And that shuts down men because we are not of that drama. That's a drama thing for some ladies, but this is not what we want. If two men are arguing and they get away with, hey, it's 8 o'clock. All you notice that? I only on 3 points and it's 14 points out. Why all so? Anyway, if two men arguing, they will cuss each other and go down to the bar and take a drink together. As far as they're concerned, you is a stupid man. I don't care what you say. Let me drink. That's how they do it. Because the relationship is not affected. When two women argue, or if a man has to argue with his woman, the relationship is fractured. You understand? So, if you only think I'm wrong, or only tell me I'm wrong. So the men will keep their relationship even though they disagree. But the woman would want to argue it to the death. And the relationship between the man and the woman, or the relationship between those two women, are affected. And I listened to somebody who did a research. And this is what they said. If men have games that are competitive and has hierarchy. So the games that we choose is highly where we compete with each other for a winner and a loser. That makes us feel good because we win. So I know what it is like when we have dominoes and we play in dominoes. I like to win. And my grandchildren, when we play, they are very good at dominoes, by the way, and they are just 6 and 7 years old. And when they win, you could see they like to win because winning is important to us. That brings out something in us. But even if we lose, the relationship still continues. In fact, it is inspired when we lose because they want our next game to get a chance to win. But the gentleman said in his research, whenever the games between women are not competitive in any big way, hopscotch and morale and so on, and it's not hierarchical, where one win, one lose and so on, it is just a result that takes place. But they say when there is a disagreement between women, the relationship is affected and they stop playing. With men, we continue to play, but we just vex with each other. But the women, they end the play. That is what the fella said in his research. Alright, okay. Lawrence said marriage for some women is the slave trade. For some men, the advantage still they drop work them till beast of burden. Alright. Trevor Adams says he's afraid of the cold shoulder. Yeah. So and that caller who came in there, I think that was a good question for us to really end off here with him, because um, whenever sometimes a woman gives a man an opinion or a suggestion, in the back of her head she expects it to be taken. She does not look at it as an opinion or a suggestion, It's technically an instruction. Ignore that now and see what would happen later on in the night when you're ready to feel cozy. See how it will be now with the relationship. If she gives you an instruction or a suggestion or an opinion and you don't think that you should take it. You understand? And this is with only some women. Timothy on Father's Day, I asked my wife, what did you get me for Father's Day? The response was, just because you buy something for me, I have to do the same. Boy, don't bring your business outside of here, because you have things to go back to, You understand me? Trevor Adams, St. Thomas. Yeah, St. Thomas in the house. Nice. United States in the house. Frida Leaks. Let's be fair. Some wives berate the husband when they try to correct their children. That's the next one. Okay, so all you join me next week, because next week I'm continuing with this. I want to finish all 14 for all you to understand what hurts men. She says, Frida said, some wives berate the husband when they try to correct their children. Speak to them that makes them feel small. They do things only for themselves, and the children and the husband do for themselves. I have seen this and I think it's ridiculous. Yep. And sometimes when the man gives the child an instruction, some of these mothers lift their foot off of that instruction and give the child a blind. Yes, Sharon. Oh, thank you. It's 9 p.m. Sharon, there's a little knob on top of your device. Reach out and turn it. Don't tell me that is 9 o'clock. I know it's 9 o'clock. Oh, yeah. When you know how to treat women, then you get personal stuff. Alright, Sharon, thank you. Madam expert. Not an excuse, but I think sometimes when a parent, mother, or father is going through some form of pressure, might not have someone to talk to, we turn to the person in the environment who might be the child and vent, not realizing it is wrong. But as if we are mature enough to grow mentally, we would realize that shouldn't be done to the children. So I agree with Erna. Yes, that is putting too much pressure on the child. Yeah, there was one case where a child came to the parents who were going through separation and divorce and said she spoke to a lady. This is that girl, she was 13 years old, I understand. Went down the street to her house down the street and came back and told the parent, there's a house down the street. This is how much it costs to rent it. So daddy does not have to go far. Let him go and rent there. Why is a child having to sleep in the night to work out that in the head, to be able to make such a strategy to go into that? That is too much burden on a child. And that is because the child is in too much of the information of the parent. Alright. People, I love you, Miss Sharon Andrews, I love you. Don't agree with you, but I love you. Alright. This topic will continue, Madam Sharon. Lyndon said they don't even give us fishing rod or anything that we really love. Just today, I go on in a shop, Mr. Lyndon, asking them if they have fishing rod. Wouldn't a man love if a woman, especially if she knows the man loves fishing, to buy him a fishing rod? Yeah, no, you go and buy him drill. Hey people, all good. I can't read everybody's thing, but I'll read it after. You all, thank you very much. Thank you, Michelle. I will try. No, Michelle, could you send me that research material, because once I shut off here, I might not be able to get it back. Could you send it on my WhatsApp, please, if possible? The WhatsApp number is up there. I would love to read it. Okay. Thank you all very much. God bless you all. I love you all. I know I was really hard, but this is an International Men's Day. I'm passionate about our men and our boys. I think that we need to be able to find a way to balance our relationship and not to skew the scale one side or the next. Okay, so I'll see you all next week Thursday, God's willing, and make sure that you keep safe and be grateful for the men in your lives, because they have a lot to offer, and we have our boys coming up who we have a lot to give to. God bless you.